Welcome back, everybody, to another deep dive. This time, we're really going deep on The Simple Path to Wealth by J.L. Collins. Now, this isn't your typical finance book, you know. It actually started as letters from a dad to his daughter, just trying to teach her about money.
Very personal approach, isn't it? I mean, who hasn't wanted that kind of guidance at some point?
Totally. And that's what we're aiming for today, to really break down Collins' core ideas in a way that feels like you're getting that personal advice, like we're all sitting down together, figuring this stuff out.
Absolutely. It's all about those key takeaways, those actionable steps anyone can use.
Right. So let's jump right in. One thing that really hit me was Collins' view on debt. He's not messing around.
No, not at all. It's almost like a foundation for his whole philosophy. Get rid of debt, and then you can truly build.
Yeah, and it's not just credit card debt, right? He's talking about any kind of debt that's holding you back. He even uses this phrase, F you money, which I gotta admit caught my attention. What's the real meaning behind that?
Well, on the surface, it might sound a little rebellious, but it's really about the freedom that comes with being financially secure. Imagine being able to walk away from a job you hate or take a risk because you're not trapped by debt. That's the power Collins is talking about.
It's like debt equals being stuck, and if you money equals freedom.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why he spends so much time in the book on getting out of debt, giving you actual strategies. If that's something you're dealing with, there's a lot of help in there.
So, step one,
Hmm.
ditch the debt. But then what? Where does the money go once you're free from those chains?
Okay, well, here's where his investing philosophy comes in. And get this, he's actually pretty critical of complicated investments. Those fancy things Wall Street loves to sell.
Hedge funds and derivatives and all that.
Yeah. Collins argues they often benefit the sellers more than the buyers. It makes you think, wait, who am I working for here?
Right, like you think you're making this smart move, but are you really just making someone else rich?
That's his point. He wants you to be aware of those pitfalls. So he advocates for a much simpler approach, something that puts you back in control.
And that's where his love for index funds comes in, right? Can you break those down for us a bit? I'm sure some folks listening might not be totally familiar with what those are.
Sure. So an index fund, in the simplest terms, is like a basket of stocks. And it's designed to mirror a particular market index, like, say, the S&P 500. It's like buying a tiny piece of a whole bunch of companies all at once.
So instead of trying to pick individual stocks like, oh, this company is going to be the next big thing,
Yeah.
you're basically betting on the overall performance of the market.
Exactly. And you have different types of index funds. You got your broad market ones, like tracking the S&P 500, which covers a big chunk of the U.S. market. And then you have your more specific funds, like just tech companies or healthcare, things like that.
Interesting.